Here's what nobody wants to admit, but everybody knows is true. Most people are living way below their potential, and they're doing it on purpose. They're choosing mediocrity because excellence is too much work. They're choosing to complain because changing is too uncomfortable. They're choosing to blame others because taking responsibility is too scary. They'd rather stay comfortable in their misery than risk being uncomfortable in their growth. They want to be successful, but they don't want to do what successful people do. They want the rewards without the requirements. That's not how life works, and deep down they know it. Let me tell you something that most people will never understand about success, about money, about getting what you want in life. You ready for this? Here it is. You will never have what you want until you start acting like you deserve it. Not wishing for it, not hoping for it, not complaining that you don't have it, acting like you deserve it. I've been watching people for decades now, and I'll tell you what I see. I see people who want million-dollar lifestyles, but they live like they're worth minimum wage. I see people who dream about financial freedom, but can't manage the $20 in their wallet. I see people who talk about wanting respect, but don't respect themselves enough to show up on time, dress properly, or keep their word. You want to know why most people stay stuck? Because they got the whole thing backwards. They think the success comes first, then the behavior follows. They think once they get the money, then they'll start acting wealthy. Once they get the promotion, then they'll start acting professional. Once they find the right person, then they'll start being the right person themselves. That's not how it works. That's never been how it works. The behavior comes first, always. The way you act determines what you attract. The way you carry yourself determines what opportunities show up. The way you treat what you have now determines what you'll be trusted with later. I learned this lesson the hard way when I was 25 years old. I was broke. I mean, really broke. I had pennies in my pocket and big dreams in my head and nothing in between. I remember looking at wealthy people and thinking they were just lucky. I thought they had something I didn't have. I thought the system was rigged against people like me. And here's what I was doing wrong. I was living like a broke person while dreaming like a rich person. I would walk into a nice restaurant and feel out of place. I would see successful people networking at events and tell myself I didn't belong there. I would look at quality clothes, quality books, quality anything and think, someday when I have money. I was postponing excellence until I could afford it. But here's the thing about postponing excellence. Excellence doesn't wait for you to be ready. Opportunities don't wait for you to feel worthy. Success doesn't wait for you to overcome your insecurities. While you're waiting to feel ready, someone else who's acting ready is getting what you want. I was working at the department store, barely making ends meet. And I remember this customer came in. He was about my age, maybe a little younger, but he carried himself differently. He was polite to everyone, dressed well, without being flashy, spoke clearly, and you could tell he expected good things to happen to him, not in an arrogant way, but in a confident way. He was acting like someone who deserved success, and you know what? I found out later he was already successful. He owned 3 businesses at 26 years old. That's when it hit me. I was acting like my bank account. He was acting like his potential. I was letting my current circumstances dictate my behavior. He was letting his future vision dictate his behavior. I was acting from where I was. He was acting from where he was going. But then I met my mentor, and he asked me a question that changed everything. He said, Jim, if you had $1 million right now, how would you act differently? And I started to tell him about all the things I would buy, all the places I would go. He stopped me right there. He said, no, not what would you buy. How would you act? How would you treat people? How would you treat your time? How would you treat your body? How would you treat your mind? That question haunted me for weeks. Because I realized I was waiting for the $1 million to start acting like a millionaire. I was waiting for success to start acting successful. I was waiting for respect to start being respectable. I had the whole equation upside down. I was acting like success was something that happened to you instead of something that happened through you. I was treating success like a lucky break instead of the natural result of right thinking and right acting. I was hoping for a miracle instead of becoming the kind of person that miracles happen to. The truth is, You'll never have it until you start acting like you deserve it. And most people never start acting like they deserve it because they don't understand what deserving really means. They think deserving means wanting something really bad. They think deserving means needing something desperately. They think deserving means being a good person who hasn't caught a break yet. That's not what deserving means. Deserving is about preparation meeting opportunity. Deserving is about being ready when your moment comes. Deserving is about developing the character, the skills, the mindset, and the habits that can handle what you say you want. Let me tell you what deserving looks like in real life. Deserving is the person who studies their craft even when nobody's paying them to study. Deserving is the person who shows up early and stays late because they understand that success is built in the margins. Deserving is the person who invests in themselves when they can barely afford to invest in anything. I knew a woman who worked as a secretary but dreamed of being in management. She could have complained about the glass ceiling. She could have waited for someone to notice her potential. Instead, she started acting like a manager while she was still a secretary. She took business courses at night. She read management books during lunch. She started dressing like the position she wanted, not the position she had. When a management position opened up, guess who got it? Not the person who wanted it most, not the person who needed it most, the person who had prepared for it most, the person who was already acting like they deserved it, the person who had developed the skills and mindset of a manager before they got the title. That's what deserving means. It means being ready before you get the opportunity. It means developing the character to handle what you want before you get what you want. It means acting like the person you want to become before you become that person. But here's where most people get confused. They think deserving means perfect. They think they have to have everything figured out before they can start acting like they deserve success. That's not true. Deserving doesn't mean perfect. Deserving means growing. Deserving means proving. Deserving means being better today than you were yesterday. You don't have to be perfect to deserve success. You just have to be progressing. You don't have to have all the answers to deserve opportunities. You just have to be asking the right questions. You don't have to be fearless to deserve good things. You just have to be willing to act in spite of your fear. See, the universe doesn't respond to your needs. It doesn't respond to your wants. It doesn't even respond to your desperation. The universe responds to your readiness. It responds to your preparation. It responds to who you've become, not what you wish you had. When I finally understood this, everything changed. Instead of waiting for my circumstances to improve, I started improving myself. Instead of waiting for opportunities to find me, I started preparing myself for opportunities. Instead of acting broke until I got rich, I started acting rich before I had a dime. And here's what happened. When I started acting like I deserved success, success started showing up. When I started treating myself like I was valuable, other people started treating me like I was valuable. When I started managing my little bit of money like it mattered, more money started coming my way. This isn't magic. This isn't positive thinking nonsense. This is cause and effect. This is how the world works. You get what you are, not what you want. You attract what you give off, not what you wish for. You receive what you're prepared to handle, not what you think you need. So what does it mean to act like you deserve it? Let me break this down for you, because this is where most people get confused. They think deserving means entitlement. They think it means walking around acting like the world owes them something. That's not deserving. That's demanding. And demanding repels what you want. Deserving is different. Deserving is quiet confidence. It's knowing your worth without having to prove it to everyone. It's preparing for what you want before you have it. It's treating what you have now with respect because you understand that how you handle little determines how you'll handle much. I watch people all the time who wonder why they can't get ahead financially, but they waste money on things that don't matter. They buy stuff to impress people they don't even like. They spend money they don't have on things they don't need. Then they wonder why money doesn't stick around. Money goes where it's respected. Money stays where it's managed well. Money multiplies where it's invested wisely. If you can't manage $100, why would the universe trust you with 1,000? If you can't handle 1,000, why would you be trusted with 10,000? This isn't about the amount. This is about the principle. This is about showing that you understand the value of what you have and that you can be trusted with more. The same principle applies to everything else. If you want a better job, start acting like someone who deserves a better job. Show up early, stay late when needed, take responsibility for things that aren't your fault. Learn skills you're not paid to learn. Solve problems before they become emergencies. Act like the person you want to become, not the person you currently are. If you want better relationships, start being the kind of person who deserves better relationships. Be honest when it's hard. Be reliable when it's inconvenient. Be kind when others aren't. Be the friend you want to have. Be the partner you want to be with. Stop waiting for other people to change and start being the change you want to see. This is what separates successful people from everyone else. Successful people don't wait for permission to act. Successful. They don't wait for perfect conditions to start being excellent. They don't wait for recognition to start being remarkable. They start acting like they deserve what they want, and then what they want starts showing up. I remember when I first started speaking. I didn't wait until I was a great speaker to start acting like a professional speaker. I bought a good suit, even though I could barely afford it. I showed up early to every event. I prepared like I was speaking to thousands, even when I was speaking to dozens. I treated every opportunity like it was the most important opportunity of my life. People ask me why I did that. They say, Jim, you weren't making any money speaking. Why did you invest so much in acting professional? Here's why. Because how you do anything is how you do everything. The standards you set for yourself in small things determine the standards you'll have in big things. The way you handle little opportunities determines the kind of opportunities that come your way. You want to know what acting like you deserve it looks like? It looks like taking care of your body even when nobody's watching. It looks like reading books even when you're tired. It looks like being on time even when nobody else is. It looks like doing excellent work even for average pay. It looks like keeping your word even when it costs you something. It looks like dressing well even when you're not going anywhere important. It looks like speaking well even in casual conversation. It looks like being polite even to people who can't do anything for you. It looks like treating yourself with respect even when you're alone. See, most people have this backwards. They think they'll start taking care of themselves when they feel better about themselves. They think they'll start dressing better when they lose weight. They think they'll start reading when they have more time. They think they'll start being excellent when excellence pays off. That's backwards thinking. You start being excellent, then excellence becomes your standard. You start dressing well, then you start feeling better about yourself. You start reading, then you start having more intelligent thoughts. You start acting like you deserve good things, then good things start showing up. But here's what happens when you start acting like you deserve it. People notice. Some people will be inspired by your new standards. They'll respect you more. They'll take you more seriously. They'll start treating you better because you're treating yourself better. But other people won't like it. They'll say you're putting on airs. They'll say you think you're better than everyone else. They'll try to pull you back down to their level because your growth makes them uncomfortable with their lack of growth. This is the test. This is where most people quit. They start acting like they deserve success, but when people start criticizing them for it, they go back to their old ways. They'd rather fit in with unsuccessful people than stand out as someone who's working on becoming successful. Don't make that mistake. Understand that criticism from unsuccessful people is actually a sign that you're doing something right. If people who aren't getting results are upset with your new behavior, that's proof that your new behavior is working. The people whose opinions matter will respect your commitment to improvement. The people whose opinions don't matter will try to talk you out of it. Listen to the first group, ignore the second group, better yet, find new people to be around. Find people who are already acting like they deserve what they want. Find people who will challenge you to raise your standards instead of trying to lower them. Because here's what I've learned after all these years. You become like the people you spend time with. If you spend time with people who make excuses, you'll start making excuses. If you spend time with people who complain, you'll start complaining. If you spend time with people who act like victims, you'll start acting like a victim. But if you spend time with people who take responsibility, you'll start taking responsibility. If you spend time with people who have high standards, you'll start having high standards. If you spend time with people who act like they deserve success, this isn't about being fake. This isn't about pretending to be something you're not. This is about becoming something you've never been. This is about growing into the person who naturally attracts what you want instead of staying the person who naturally repels it. I spent years repelling what I wanted because I was acting like someone who didn't deserve it. I was acting small, thinking small, speaking small, dreaming small. I was playing it safe because I didn't want to fail. But playing it safe guaranteed that I would fail. Playing it safe guaranteed that I would stay exactly where I was. When I started acting bigger, thinking bigger, speaking bigger, dreaming bigger, bigger opportunities started showing up. When I started acting like I deserved respect, people started respecting me. When I started acting like I deserved success, success started finding me. But the most important change wasn't external. The most important change was internal. When I started acting like I deserved good things, I started believing I deserved good things. When I started believing I deserved good things, I started receiving good things. The external change followed the internal change. But the internal change followed the behavioral change. See, you can't think your way into feeling better about yourself. You have to act your way into feeling better about yourself. You can't talk yourself into confidence. You have to build confidence through action. You can't wish yourself into worthiness. You have to develop worthiness through discipline. Every time you do what you say you're going to do, you build trust with yourself. Every time you choose the harder right over the easier wrong, you build character. Every time you act like you deserve better, you start believing you deserve better. Every time you believe you deserve better, you start attracting better. This is how people transform their lives. Not through hoping, not through wishing, not through complaining about their current circumstances, through acting their way into new circumstances, through behaving their way into new beliefs, through disciplining their way into new destinations. So let me ask you this. What do you want that you don't have right now? Really think about it. What's the one thing that if you had it would make the biggest difference in your life? Got it? Good. Now, let me ask you the more important question. How would you act if you already had it? How would you dress? How would you speak? How would you treat your time? How would you treat your money? How would you treat other people? How would you treat yourself? How would you show up in the world? Whatever that looks like, start doing it now. Don't wait until you have what you want to start acting like you deserve it. Start acting like you deserve it, and what you want will start showing up. But understand this. It won't happen overnight. Acting like you deserve it isn't a one-time decision. It's a daily decision. It's a moment-by-moment decision. It's choosing to maintain your standards even when nobody's watching. It's choosing to be excellent even when excellence isn't required. It's choosing to be the best version of yourself even when being average would be easier. Some days it will feel natural. Some days it will feel forced. Some days you'll want to quit and go back to your old ways. Don't quit. Remember that everything good in life is on the other side of discipline. Everything you want is on the other side of doing what you don't feel like doing. Everything you deserve is on the other side of acting like you deserve it. Let me tell you what helped me during the tough times. I created what I called my deserving rituals. These were small things I did every day that reminded me I was worth investing in. Every morning I would make my bed like I was expecting important company. I would dress well even if I was just going to the grocery store. I would read for 30 minutes like my future depended on it because it did. These weren't big dramatic gestures. They were small, consistent actions that sent a message to myself and to the world. This person deserves good things. When you start treating yourself like you matter, other people start treating you like you matter. When you start acting like your time is valuable, other people start respecting your time. When you start acting like your dreams are worth pursuing, other people start believing in your dream. But here's what most people don't understand about this process. The external changes happen fast, but the internal changes take time. You might start dressing better and speaking more confidently within a week, but truly believing you deserve success, that takes months. Feeling comfortable with abundance, that can take years. Being able to receive compliments without deflecting them, for some people, that's a lifelong process. Don't let that discourage you. Let it encourage you. Because every day you act like you deserve good things, you're building evidence for yourself that you do deserve good things. Every time you choose the higher standard, you're proving to yourself that you're capable of living at a higher standard. Every time you act successfully, you're programming your subconscious mind to expect success. Your subconscious mind does know the difference between what's real and what's practiced. If you consistently act confident, your subconscious starts to believe you are confident. If you consistently act wealthy, your subconscious starts to believe you deserve wealth. If you consistently act successful, your subconscious starts to believe success is your natural state. This is why acting like you deserve it works. You're not just changing how others see you, you're changing how you see yourself. You're not just attracting external opportunities, you're developing internal capabilities. You're not just pretending to be successful, you're becoming successful from the inside out. The people who get what they want in life are not the people who want it the most. They're not the people who need it the most. They're not the people who wish for it the most. They're the people who act like they deserve it the most. They're the people who prepare for it. They're the people who develop themselves into the kind of person who naturally attracts what they're looking for. You have that same power. You have the power to act your way into a new life. You have the power to behave your way into new beliefs. You have the power to discipline your way into new destinations. But you have to use that power. You have to make the decision that starting today, you're going to act like you deserve what you want, not tomorrow, not next week, not when conditions are perfect. Today, right now, in this moment, make the decision that you're done acting small. Make the decision that you're done settling for less than you're capable of. Make the decision that you're going to start acting like the person you want to become instead of staying the person you've always been. Because here's the truth, you'll never have it until you start acting like you deserve it. But when you start acting like you deserve it, when you really commit to that standard, when you make that your way of life, everything changes. Your confidence changes, your opportunities change, your relationships change, your income changes, your entire life changes. And it all starts with one simple decision, the decision to start acting like you deserve what you want. Make that decision today. Make that decision right now. Your future self is counting on it. But let me give you something practical to walk away with today. I want you to choose 3 things, 3 specific ways you're going to start acting like you deserve what you want. Maybe it's how you dress. Maybe it's how you speak. Maybe it's how you treat your money. Maybe it's how you use your time. Pick 3 things and commit to them for the next 30 days. Don't try to change everything at once. Change is hard enough without overwhelming yourself. Pick 3 things that will make the biggest difference and focus on those. Make them so automatic that you don't have to think about them. Make them so natural that they become part of who you are. And here's the key, don't do this for other people. Don't do this to impress anyone. Do this for yourself. Do this because you know you're worth it. Do this because you know you deserve good things. Do this because you understand that how you treat yourself teaches the world how to treat you. I've seen people transform their entire lives by making this one shift. I've seen people go from struggling to thriving simply by starting to act like they deserved to thrive. I've seen people attract opportunities they never imagined possible by preparing themselves to handle those opportunities. But I've also seen people give up right before the breakthrough. I've seen people quit just when things were starting to work. I've seen people go back to their old ways because the new ways felt uncomfortable at first. Don't be one of those people. Stick with it. Trust the process. Trust yourself. Remember, success isn't about what happens to you. Success is about what happens through you. It's about who you become in the process of pursuing what you want. It's about developing the character that can handle what you're asking for. It's about becoming the kind of person who naturally attracts the kind of life you want to live. You have everything you need inside you right now. You have the power to decide who you want to be. You have the ability to act like that person starting today. You have the capacity to transform your life by transforming your behavior. The only question is, will you do it? Will you stop waiting for permission and start acting like you deserve what you want? Will you stop making excuses and start making progress? Will you stop settling for less and start expecting more? The choice is yours. The power is yours. The time is now.